Cats and how they help people feel less lonely. A psychological viewpoint. Loneliness is a common and complicated feeling that people go through at different times in their lives. Even though it's often linked to being alone, its roots go deeper into the mind of people. Over the past few years, there has been a lot of talk about how dogs, especially cats, can help people who are lonely. This video looks at the complex relationship between cats and people, focused on how having a cat as a friend can help people who are lonely. Understanding loneliness. Being lonely is more than just being alone. It also means feeling deeply disconnected from other people and not having any real interactions with them. No matter their age or background, loneliness can affect anyone, from young adults figuring out how to live in the modern world, to older people who are struggling with being alone in their later years. Its negative effects on mental health, such as raising the risk of sadness and anxiety, make it even more important to deal with this widespread problem. How cats can help with loneliness. Cats, which are known for being independent and loving, have become unexpected allies in the fight against loneliness. Dogs may need more care and exercise than cats do. Cats are a unique kind of companionship because they are quiet and show affection in small ways. Their soothing purrs, soft nuzzles, and welcoming presence can help people who are feeling lonely. Psychological mechanisms at work. The bond between people and cats sets off a number of psychological processes that help people feel less lonely. Taking care of a pet gives you a sense of purpose and duty, which boosts your self-esteem and makes you feel fulfilled. Cats are also nonjudgmental, which makes it safe for people to be themselves without worrying about being rejected or looked at closely. This kind of unconditional love can help you deal with the negative thoughts about yourself that come with being alone. Cats also encourage people to interact with each other by bringing them together through shared hobbies and experiences. Being around cats brings people together. Whether they're in online groups for cat lovers or local meetups for cat lovers, cats break down social barriers and make people feel like they belong. Therapeutic benefits. More and more research has shown that interacting with animals, which is widely known as animal-assisted therapy, AAT, can help people feel better. Cats have been used in AAT to help people who are lonely feel better by boosting their happiness, lowering their stress, and generally making them healthier. Oxytocin, which is sometimes called the love hormone, is released when you pet a cat. This chemical makes you feel close and calm. Caring for a cat also requires a lot of order and routine, which can provide a sense of stability and companionship, especially for people who live alone or are going through big changes in their lives. Having a cat around creates a stable setting that lowers feelings of uncertainty and loneliness, which makes people stronger mentally. Last but not least, the bond between cats and people goes beyond just being friends. It has deep psychological effects, especially when one person is lonely. Cats are very good at making people feel better by giving them love, acceptance, and company. This helps alleviate loneliness and improve mental health. As we continue to sort through the complicated issues of modern life, understanding the healing power of feline company can be a bright spot of hope for people who are deeply lonely. People who belong to what group should have cats? Cats are good for many types of people, but they're especially good for people who 1. You live in an apartment or a small home. Cats do well indoors and don't need as much room as dogs, so they make great pets for people who live in apartments or small homes. Live busy lives. Cats are pretty independent animals that can easily fit into the plans of people who are always on the go. As pets, they don't need as much care or exercise as dogs, so people who have busy work or social lives can get one. 3. Want to be with someone but also like being alone. Cats are good company without needing too much care all the time. They don't mind being alone and will do their own thing. This makes them good for people who like company but also need their own room. Feel lonely or isolated. Cats can help you feel better by being there and being loving, which can ease feelings of loneliness. They accept people no matter what and can help people feel less alone, especially those who live alone or don't have many friends. 5. Have allergies or sensitivities. No pet is fully hypoallergenic, but cats are thought to be less allergenic than dogs. It's possible that cats are a better choice for people who are allergic to or sensitive to pet hair. 6. Are older adults or seniors. Cats can give older people comfort, company, and a sense of purpose, especially those who may be lonely or have lost loved ones, because they don't need much upkeep. They're great for older people who may not have a lot of energy or movement. In the end, whether or not a cat is a good pet relies on the person's preferences, lifestyle, and situation. Cats are a unique kind of friendship that can make the lives of many people better in many ways. But they might not be right for everyone. Which well-known experts had cats? A lot of well-known psychologists are known to have cats as pets, which makes their lives and work more interesting. Here are a few examples that stand out. Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, who is known as the father of psychoanalysis, loved cats very much. He was known for having several cats as pets because he thought they helped him and his patients relax. Freud's works show that he liked cats. He sometimes talked about his own cats and even used their symbolic meanings in his psychoanalytic interpretations. Carl Jung, who was also a very important person in psychology, loved cats very much. He thought that cats were smart and independent in ways that people could learn from. Jung often used cats in his analysis because he was interested in myths and symbols, and saw them as archetypal figures that represented parts of the unconscious mind. Karen Horney was a famous psychoanalyst who was known for her work in female psychology. She also loved cats. She allegedly had a close relationship with her cat, and saw it as a source of comfort and company when things were hard. Horney's interest in how people interact with each other, and how early events shape personality may have affected how she interacts with her cat. Erich Fromm. The humanistic psychologist Erich Fromm was famous for his ideas about love and relationships that changed the world. He was also very fond of cats. Fromm thought that having a pet, even a cat, could give people a sense of connection and satisfaction, which was good for their health. He talked a lot about how important empathy and compassion are in ties between people and animals. B.F. Skinner was better known for behaviorism, but he loved cats. Using cats as test subjects, he looked into operant training and other ways to change behavior. Even though Skinner was interested in objective observations and measurable outcomes, he showed affection for his cats and recognized that people and cats can form an emotional bond. The connections between these psychologists and their cats show the many ways that pets can change how people act, feel, and interact with others. The lives and work of these important people in psychology have been affected by cats, whether they were seen as symbols of unconscious wishes, sources of comfort and companionship, or subjects for scientific study. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in new videos.